Hello everyone! This is my late review on the Vader 3 Pro. Since Flydigi didn't send me a sample, I believe they got mad because I said some truths about the Apex 3. But since so many of you asked for a review on the Vader 3 Pro, I bought a unit and here we are. The Vader 3 Pro is the first controller from Flydigi to have Hall effect sticks. And the Hall effect sticks are only present in the Pro version, as well as the vibration motors in the triggers. So keep that in mind before deciding which one you're gonna buy. In the box, as always, we get a letter from Flydigi. You also get a cable that seems to be a 3.0 cable, but it's not. Real USB 3.0 cables have extra connections inside, and you can clearly see that this one does not have it. It's just painted blue to match the controller color scheme. Here we have the controller, and hidden in this box here, we have the dongle and the manuals. The manual is entirely in Chinese. But you can scan the QR code and read the English version online. And here we have the whole Flydigi family. The Apex 2 and the Vader 2 Pro, the Apex 3 and the Vader 3 Pro. One thing to note is that all of these controllers have the Xbox shape. They are almost exact copies on the Ergonomics. I'd like to see Flydigi try a Pro controller layout at least once, like the Mobapad Cheeto or the Big One Blitz. I guess they go with the motto, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. The Vader 3 Pro is almost an exact copy of the Apex 3. But it added some things that were missing out, like the capture button. And it also brought back the C and Z buttons. Unfortunately, on the top, it is still missing the M5 and M6 buttons. Which is a shame because these buttons are the perfect shortcuts. They are out of the way, so you can't press them by accident, but at the same time they are easy to reach. But on this controller you have trigger stoppers. And these trigger stoppers are simply the best trigger stoppers that I tested. It won't just stop the button in the middle of the travel. In one position, the triggers will work as linear analog triggers, and in the other, it will completely change the button into a solid mechanical button. Also, the on-off switch was changed to a mode selection switch. With this switch, it's much easier to select the operating mode. You can use it with a USB wireless dongle, Bluetooth, or with a Nintendo Switch. It also has the charging ports for the Flydigi Dock. And this time, the analog sticks has anti-friction rings. Here's a comparison between the sticks of all Flydigi controllers. The controller won't come with extra sticks, but the sticks are removable, and you can buy different heights of sticks online. I'll leave the links in the description. Just keep in mind that the color of the sticks will be slightly different. The face buttons are Mecha tactile buttons, identical to the Apex 3. The C and Z buttons are a bit different. They are still mechanical, but they use a button switch. The D-pad is identical to the Apex 3, it's just painted in a different color. And the Vader 3 is totally compatible with the Flydigi Dock. A red LED will indicate the charging, and we will turn green when it's done. To turn the controller on, all you have to do is press the home button, and it can wake up the Nintendo Switch. And the RGB lights are super cool. The colors transition seamlessly, and you can't even notice the LEDs under the shell. Here's the breathing effect. And this is the color feedback. On the Switch, everything works as you expect. The button layout is correct. The C and Z buttons are mapped to the L3 and R3 buttons. And unlike the Apex 3, this time you have a capture button. The triggers will also work in the two positions, but the trigger's response will always be digital. To turn off the controller, you can hold the home button for a while, or just flip the switch on the back to any direction. On the computer, I went to test the analog sticks, and here we have no dead zones in the axis. And the circularity test is pretty okay. The D-pad is great. You can hit all of the directions very easily. There is just one problem that wasn't fixed here. That is that you can activate all of the directions if you press really hard in the center. This can mess up your inputs in fighting games. And you can change it to D input by holding Capture and the A button. With D input, you can set the back buttons and the C and Z buttons to specific functions instead of shortcuts. It's like having extra buttons for more functions in your game. In the DIN input mode, the capture button will turn on the Airmouse. You can use it to navigate on your computer when you're away from the keyboard and mouse. This way it's much easier to launch a game at a distance. The polling rate was also updated. The Vader 3 Pro can reach 500 Hz, and it's also 500 Hz in a wired connection. For comparison, the Apex 3 was ridiculously slow at 60 Hz. And they also fixed a problem which all of the past Flydigi controllers had. The Bluetooth mode in these controllers will only work with Android devices. This means that if you want to connect the controller to your computer with a Bluetooth connection, it simply won't work. Here you can see me attempting to connect the Apex 3, and it simply fails. The computer connects to it and detects it as a mouse. But other than that, it just won't work anywhere. And I even tried this iOS mode. It is detected as an Xbox wireless controller, but still nothing happens in the gamepad tester. On the Vader 3 Pro though, you have two modes on the Bluetooth setting. The blue light means Android mode, and by pressing capture and the X button, you can change it to the Xbox wireless mode. The LED will turn white, and now it works properly. If you need to enable the pairing mode, all you have to do is hold the home button. Moving to the PC app, the Vader 3 Pro is only compatible with the new 3.0 version of the PC Space. The app has been reworked and it's much easier to change settings compared to the previous versions. You can remap a button in 2 clicks. Also, you can configure turbo mode, and record macros too. The macros can be pretty long, detecting up to 64 inputs. And this menu option, honestly, I couldn't figure out what it's used for. You can also set 4 different profiles to quickly change between your configurations. And you still have all of the other Flydigi options here. You can customize the sticks, you can activate a simulated gyro for FPS or racing games. And you can customize the trigger dead zones and the vibration intensity. On the General tab, you have the different RGB modes, as well as the grip vibration. And the switch options are hidden in this part of the menu. That's the only setting that they could make more clear. Speaking on the trigger vibration, unlike the Apex 3 which required specific updates made by Flydigi to work with the games, The Vader 3 Pro is completely compatible with Xbox impulse triggers. PC games are already developed with this functionality in mind, so the Vader 3 Pro can just tap into that and work out of the box. No need for any software or modifications. And the list is pretty big. I tested it with Broforce and it works right away. Also, you can activate the trigger vibration to the switch mode too. But here it works a bit different. The trigger will vibrate using the controller rumble feedback, so whenever the controller rumbles, the trigger rumbles together. And it works pretty well, as you can see here on Metroid Prime Remastered. As always, the Vader 3 Pro is also compatible with the Flydigi Game Center app. This app is just the best mapper that I've ever tested. You can configure the button presses to touches on screen in any way you want. It even works with gyro controls. I have fully covered this app previously in the Flydigi Apex 2 review. I'll leave the card in the top right corner in case you want to check it out. Honestly, this app with Flydigi controllers makes me feel like I'm cheating in games. Through the app, you can also update the controller and test the buttons. One thing that I noted is that you cannot customize the lights anymore. On the Apex 3, you have the Space Station option, which lets you customize the colors however you want. So now you can only customize the lights on your PC. Before moving to the teardown, if you're having problems with the analog sticks, triggers, or gyro, you can calibrate the controller using a secret calibration option. Just hold select, start, and up on the Dpad. Then make circular motions on the sticks. And press the triggers all the way down a few times too. Then press the combo again to finish the calibration. Moving to the teardown, there are 4 screws that you need to remove. Once removed, get a plastic pick and insert it on this side. Then carefully disassemble the back of the shell. Be careful with the connector of the charging port. On the back shell, we can see the wires for the charging connectors. And here's the back buttons. And there's a small rubber here for dampening the noise of the triggers when you press it down. And finally, we can see the mechanism for the triggers. In this position, the trigger will work as a Hall effect trigger. But there's a small green button here, and this is the button that gets pressed down when the trigger is in the other position. This is a genius design. Bravo, Flydigi. And you can see how solid the button becomes when you change the switch. You can see the wires here for the rumble motors. They come all the way from here. I would disassemble it, but seeing how delicate this construction is, I'm afraid that I will end up breaking something. But you already know what's inside, it's just a rumble motor. The battery here apparently has no info, so I'll have to check out the other side. And on the other side we can see that it's an 800 mAh battery. If you notice here, you'll see that the triggers have a metal rod in the pivot. This is also very good. To see the front of the board, we have to remove 6 screws here. Be careful when removing the connectors from the rumble motors. You can end up ripping up the connector from the board, but as long as you don't bend these pins, you can put them back. Here we can see that the Dpad has the same design as the Apex 3. And here's the Mecha tactile face buttons. These buttons have a rubber membrane, but these membranes are not making any contact to the motherboard. The contact is made by the mechanical switches underneath. These are clicky mouse switches. The button layout is fixed and cannot be changed. Here you can see the button switches for the Dpad, and the analog sticks uses Hall Effect K-Silver modules. The face buttons uses scale switches, and you can see here all of the LEDs responsible for the RGB effects. Phew, what a long review. On my final thoughts, all of the things that were wrong with the Apex 3 were fixed in the Vader 3 Pro. This controller feels like it's one step from perfection. It checks all of the boxes. It has Hall Effect sticks, trigger stoppers, have good Dpad and face buttons, and have a good compatibility with all platforms. The Xbox Impulse triggers were a great addition, unlike the Apex 3 adaptive triggers. This functionality will be compatible with future games day one, where in the Apex 3 you'll have to wait for Flydigi's update. And just take a look at their list. After 9 months from the release of the Apex 3, only a few games were added. The Vader 3 Pro takes the second place away from the Apex 3. The only things that keeps me from giving the #1 title for this controller is the lack of the shortcut buttons on the top, the M5 and M6. But at least we have the C and Z buttons back. Another point is that the usability of the Vader 3 Pro is a bit lacking. You can only configure the back buttons, macros, and shortcuts at the PC software. So if you don't have a computer with you, you're in bad luck. Other controllers offers you a way to remap the buttons through button combinations, or even through the app on a smartphone. While Flydigi Game Center is an amazing app, it could have these functionalities. While the Vader 3 Pro is not the perfect controller we all want, currently it is the closest one to perfection. We're getting close to the end of the year, and I'll be making a ranking with all of the best controllers of 2023. There is just one more upcoming review, so hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet to make sure you won't lose that review when it comes out. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.